Et donc là, il explique les circonstances qui l'ont amené à changer son statut. Donc texte 71. Ekada devasa tretu gandharva papsara gunaha upahata vishvag shigribir upahuta vishva shrigbir arigato pagayanim. Ekada devasa tretu gandharva psharas ganaha upahata vishva shrigbir arigato pagayanim. Ekada deva satretu gandharva apsaram ganaha upauta vishva shrigbir arigato pagayanim. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Once there was a Sankirtan festival to glorify the Supreme Lord in an assembly of the demigods, and the Gandharva and Apsaras were invited by the Prajapati to take part in it. Purport. Sankirtan means chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The Hare Krishna movement is not a new movement as people sometimes mistakenly think. The Hare Krishna movement is present in every millennium of Lord Brahma's life, and the holy name is chanted in all the higher planetary systems, including Brahmaloka and Chandraloka, not to speak of Gandharvaloka and Apsaraloka. The Sankirtan movement that was started in this world 500 years ago by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore not a new movement. Sometimes, because of our bad luck, this movement is stopped, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his servants again start the movement for the benefits of the entire world, or indeed the entire universe. Om Gyanati Midandasya Gananjala Shadakara Chachuru Militamena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swaya Rupa Kadanati Swapnantikam. He Krishna Karina Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantarada Kantana Mustute Tapta Kanchana Gorangera De Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Suke Devi Paranamami Hari Priye Vanchakarpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Yaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once there was a Sankirtan festival to glorify the Supreme Lord in an assembly of the demigods, and the Gandharvas and Apsaras were invited by the Prajapati to take part in it. So we see in this verse how is arranged the different yagas even in the higher planetary systems. So we are hearing from Narada Muni, which is one of the 12 Mahajan in this universe, and he described how he was living in a past life amongst the company of Gandharva, Apsaras, and other elevated beings who lives in higher planetary space systems where the duration of life is minimum 10,000 years. On the moon it is said they live such a long lap of time as 10,000 years. And the sun, it's also another lifetime span. And in Raloka, another lifespan like that. Different clock. Like we see in this planetary system, Earth, the clock is different if we are in Satya Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, and also if we are in different species. We see even in human species that some living beings are living much less than in the Western countries. And in some species of life, one lifetime is elapsing in 1 day, actually. But for Brahma, it's elapsing in 8 billion years, something like that. So this amount of time for all living beings looks the same, because under the Mahamaya illusion, they think they will live forever. And everything around them is displaying death, rebirth, and they think themselves it will not happen to them. They don't care about that problem. They put it under the carpet. When you clean the house, you put the dust under the carpet. Nobody sees, nobody knows, nobody hears about. It's all perfect. But actually there's a big problem underneath. And it doesn't solve the problem, it just escape or cover up the problem. So the inhabitants of the higher planets, they are aware of this problem. They are completely aware of this planet. And in this earthly planet, we see that normally people should be aware of that. But we see the more materialistic they are, the more the tendency to forget that is existing. And in this material world, we see that problem are completely, the main problem of existence, rebirth, death, old age, disease, are completely ignored. So the higher consciousness implies we are aware of this problem, and we are prone to do something against it, to treat this disease. So in this higher planetary system, they know that the post will not be permanent, and they do some yagas to counteract this, or to alleviate, or to go back to the spiritual world. Normally, those superior beings are supposed to work in such a way as to secure an eternal life in their books, next life, or in their next life, maybe not one lifetime, but at least they do something for that. But not all of them, because illusion is very deep also there. Plenty women, plenty nice lakes, plenty palace, gold, marigold, lotuses everywhere, ponds, nice place to resort. And there are facilities, nice machines, or servants, or people who help them to enjoy. So there is the two aspects. The consciousness is more elevated, but the facilities for enjoying is superior. And as a result, the temptation is bigger. We see in cities, in countries like Switzerland, one of the richest in the world, people are at ease at every step in their life. The life is like a soft cocoon, cotton and soft silk. Everywhere it is silky and oily, or buttery, even better, butter, soaking in butter. They have many opulences. They have facilities to understand how it is difficult to live, because they know in a less developed country how difficult it is to have a livelihood. But still, it's for others. It doesn't happen to us. Let us enjoy. So people are like that, tricked by the material energy. And all of them, they think it will never happen, death to them. Though in dire situation, like we are little by little coming to live in, these people, they suffer a lot, because it's such a change of mentality that it distresses their mind to change their status of life. So here, it happened exactly this same thing to Gandharva, no, Narada Muni, which name was Upabahana. He was soaking in the nectar. He was so much intoxicated that he started to sing, but he didn't sing the holy name of the Lord. He sings some cinema or movie songs, something comparable now, joking at the expenses of the superior demigod, who didn't appreciate his joke. Even if he was in a very high situation, because he was a nice body, nice jewels, nice situation, good income, good enjoying facilities, nice woman beside him, nice voice, everything nice. And all of a sudden, what happened? He got cursed. And his status was completely devastated. He could not stay anymore in the heavenly planets. So you can imagine the distress of those people who are accustomed to so much in comfortable life, so much facilities, and all of a sudden, the faucet is closed. No joys, no money, or no enjoyment, or no food, or no something. Then these people are very much in distress. And actually, that's the status of most of the Western civilization that is accustomed to so many comfort in life. And all of a sudden, faucet is closed. Such a distressing situation. But we see that this Gandharva Loka, he lost his status, but he got some nice facilities, because after all, he participated in some Sankirtan movement, even in a joking way, even not so serious, even this so many defects, but still Krishna took in consideration that he sang his holy name. And this main consideration had the result for him to get a nice situation, distressing situation, but nice to get rid of the material attachment he got. And he got mercy after he got the association of holy sages, partake their food, and he even had the darshan of Lord Narayan at the end of his life, as a promise to have another life where he would even more advance in his spiritual life. So we see that the process of executing sacrifice for the benefit of the Lord, especially singing his holy name, it has the effect of attracting the attention of the Lord and attracting his mercy, little by little. It took some steps, a few lifetimes, to get to the result of getting the status, exalted status of Narada Muni. Especially Gandharva Loka, it takes a long time to live. And the time he came on earth, it took some time also. But for Krishna, time doesn't count. He just sees the good things that his devotee does, and accordingly, he gives little by little his complete mercy until the devotee got his full association. So, this Sankirtan process is exactly the same. That we can see that even in this planet, it's not coming from a mushroom system for elevating people. It is bona fide, and it is going on even in the heavenly planets. That's what we see through this verse. Sankirtan is going on also in these higher planets. So for people here, when they see some devotee appearing all of a sudden in orange clothes, saffron clothes. They are puzzled. They never see that before. They think it's a sect or something like so many mushroom sects appearing and disappearing, a fashion, this, that. But the time is changing because people see that the devotees after 50 years are still here. They are still chanting. They are puzzling. How these guys are still going on after all these years? People are pondering what's behind. Normally, if they have some intelligence. Unfortunately, they don't have so much. So, here we see that Uparbahana was, even if he took advantage of his situation and became intoxicated by women and by opulences, still he got the mercy. But through going a distressing situation. So sometimes Krishna arranges that situation also for his devotees, who feels too comfortable or too confident it's going on this way, little by little, in his devotional life, already acquired and for granted, but or when sometimes the spiritual life becomes a little dry and like our daily core, things devotional course, and we are told to do that because it is the system, and we do it, but we do it in a mechanical way, and it is said that the result of a sacrifice depends on the consciousness of the one who does this sankirtan. The higher conscious of what we are doing, the better it gets and we get the results. So when Krishna sees that in his devotees, sometimes he arranges some situation where his devotees is placed in apparently distressing situation. Apparently. But the devotee have the intelligence to realize it is not so distressing because he is with Krishna, and it is another way for him to show him some mercy. If we see the life of the Pandava, materially it's a distressing life. They were supposed to be the emperor of the whole world, but actually they took birth in the Himalayan country, in the hills, where there is cold. Not so easy to live over there. I've been there, it's quite cold. To find fruits, this, not so easy. A lot of sages are going there, but they don't eat so much. Not so easy. And after the Pandavas, after this episode where the lake house was burned in Varanasi, they escaped and they lived for some time hidden in the forest. We have to think that the Pandavas were trained like Brahmin Kshatriya living in the forest. Only when Pandu died, they get down and they were in a royal environment. Otherwise, they were trained heavily in the woods, in the mountains, in the hilly tracks. That was their training. So after they escaped, for some time they were hidden till they married Draupadi. After, it was not possible to be hidden. So we see in their life, after this tricky game of dice, they were exiled for 12 years in the forest. But for them it looks distressing, but for them it was not, because there's the association of the priest, and Krishna gave them association, and also because they were trained in such a system. They were accustomed. They were advanced souls, and they could see how it was a kind of mercy of Krishna not to be attached to the position. So we can see all these super elevated souls. They live for sometimes in the heavenly planets. They got their weapons. They still live in a Kamyavan or Himalayan mountain also for some times. But they were accustomed to that because they took birth in such an environment. And actually they were very, very austere devotees. Much more than Duryodhana and all these who were staying in the palace, in the royal environment, and enjoying all kinds of facilities. And they rejected the other Pandavas. No, not even one village we will give you. Not even the place to put a pin. Imagine how egoists they were, and full of hatred. Really. So they were not affected because they were much so advanced. They could have stayed all of the time in the heavenly planets, but they didn't. They stay on the earth. Not so easy. Some facilities they got with Durvasa Muni, who gave them a pot. Draupadi got a pot where the food was stored, and she could feed hundreds of Brahmins, because they were followed by a whole suite of ascetics and hermits and sages. They were not completely alone. It was a group. And Draupadi was able to feed all these people because she had a special pot. So for devotees and karmis as well, it happens, this situation, where they are too much soaking in facilities, in order to make them spiritual advancement, to have a cure of disintoxication. We can get intoxicated by drugs, alcohol, sugar, but also by association with women, riches, palace, nice cars, nice this, nice that, so many things. And we take it for granted. It's normal. It's for us. It's our stuff. I should have them. It's normal. But everything is temporary, and like a drop of water on the petal of a lotus, including life itself. So people now are in complete realization of how life can be shortened all of a sudden. And not only the life itself, but the food. People are in anxiety, accumulating food. People are in anxiety, accumulating riches or cash or this or that. They don't know what the future is. And because of this anxiety, they make some material plan to counteract the disease or the economic collapse that is going to follow, for sure. So people are in apprehension like that. So the devotees are not, because they understand it's a gigantic plan of Krishna to make them Krishna conscious after some time. There is a plan behind, because the Sankirtan movement has been going on for 50 years. And to make people progress, another diet and style of life is required. We see it at the moment. There's no other way to understand Krishna's plan. And this plan is conducive to receive spiritual life in much an easier way than before. That's how Upabhana, when he got this body of a humble family, he was promoted to being a son of a family without father, and the mother was just a servant. It's a very humble situation. He got completely humbled, and this humility had the advantage of being possible for him to have the association of holy person, washed their dish, served them, and like that. So becoming humble is a prerequisite attitude required for starting spiritual life. If we are intoxicated with position, title, diploma, woman, wine, elephant, or Ferraris, or this or that, no possible, very difficult, very little people, not so many people are conducive to spiritual life when they are in possession of this burden, actually. It's an obstacle for their abandonment to Lord Krishna. So we see that nowadays we are seeing a general compulsory advancement of the population. They appreciate or they don't, the result is the same. They are obliged. It's not in their command. But the difference is those who are spiritually advanced, they see the trick of the guna to make people advance towards spiritual life. Whether the materialist completely is devastated and laments, and he gets trapped in his mind. He suffers because of his mind, not so much of the body. The suffering is coming from because he was attached to such a granted situation, and all of a sudden the situation is broken. Then the person is devastated. But the devotees are not. So this is the difference, how devotees see the elements around them, and how the karmi, they see the same elements, but how they become hurt by it and affected by that. So the same elements, but because of another angle of vision from the devotees, every kind of situation becomes advantageous for the devotee. Because he sees the end of Krishna, whereas the materialist cannot see it, cannot perceive it. There may be some comments or questions about this verse. Yes?
What kind of person was Narada before to be cursed? Because there is 4 types of person who comes to do a devotional service. So can we qualify the Narada as the one who is looking for material wealth, or he was maybe, I don't know, Gyani? How do you qualify which order of scrutinous he comes from?
Narada Muni is quite an example of Kripa Siddhi, but also he had some Sukritis, because he was on those planets where automatically you have tendency to perform pious and spiritual activities. But you can be divided also, so it's a mixed. Those who are spiritually intelligent, they go higher. And those who take too much advantage, they go down in a nice family, where it is up to them to to choose, again, in a human family, if they want to go up or get down, or stay in the same status, more or less. It's their choice. So Narada Muni, he got some Sukriti, and also he got a special mercy, because he got the post of the Narada Muni we know, who is an intimate messenger in between the Lord and the devatas and the human beings. He is an intermediary. He has a special position, not only because he was one of the 12 Mahajan, but he's more intimate because he knows the core of the Lord, and he conveys some message to the human beings or to the devotee to make the lila advance. He is part of a lila. And he has this position, and Krishna decided to give to him. Why? Not only the Sukritis, but there is many cases of special mercy being shown by Lord Krishna in an incredible way. Lastly, I was reading a story, incredible story, of an insignificant old woman in an insignificant country like Kyrgyzstan, who something's done. You know, you stay in the hilly side, in the desert. You know, nobody lives, so little people live there, but still. And she got the mercy through books of Srila Prabhupada. She was an old and elderly woman, and she made quickly some advancement. She gave her house. She got a little room next to the temple, and she was preaching the devotees. Well, distribute books, yeah, do this. And she was becoming very intimate with Krishna. People were, devotees were even thinking she was a Sahaja, because sometimes she will tell, but Gopal told me to do this. Who is she to tell to the devotee? Gopal said her this. So one day what happened is that this woman got a dream of Lord Nishingadev to go in the, where is this place? The place where there is many temples of Lord Nishingadev, Ahovalam region of South India. And this deity was calling her to help her to restore the service like it was before, because it had been lost and maintained to a strict minimum by a local Brahmin. So she gathered some money, and everybody told her, hey, Mami, stay there, chant your rounds, do some service at the temple. Don't bother yourself going to India, restore an old deities or something. But she was insistent. At the end, she got her visa, money for traveling over there. And she went there with some helper, one devotee who helped her to carry the luggage and, devoted soul. And they came across this place, which was a really remote place. And they asked to go to in the countryside, in the hilly tract, for helping the puja over there. And the pujari was there. He was going once in a week over there. And when he saw this Russian or Kyrgyzstan woman, he opened eyes like that. What's going on? No, but it's dangerous. There is some wild beast, and the puja is very difficult in a cave. You have to go through water. But she was insistent. At the end, the Brahmin, they went with the team over there. And to make it short, you have to go in the cave. You have to have water over there to do the puja. Oh. It's really in the deep cave filled with water. And the woman, she started to build a hut to start the puja. Yes, he told me to do this. So the pujari was completely, it was incredible. And eventually, she was ISKCON, she was familiar with doing arti and that. He gave her the service to worship daily the Nishinga deity at the end of this cave. And this story was known by the neighbors, of course. All of the village, they start to speak of this woman. And then the countryside, little by little, they start to know this incredible story. And it came to the ear of some chief minister who got who met the Brahmin, who met some people, and he went over there to see what's going on. And he realized the standard was quite high, actually. Then he felt sorry for neglecting the worship of this deity. And he made some arrangement for the lady, a better house, some steps, clearing the jungle, a parking lot at the bottom, and some facilities for the people to get darshan. And this deity became really known. And at the end, this old woman, one day there was no response. And they found her, she had fallen at the feet of the deity and she left her body in this way. Astonishing. Kripa-siddha can happen like somebody insignificant and becomes empowered to do some incredible seva like that. So these deities, now the pujari took again the puja, and there's quite a lot of people who pay visit to these deities. Incredible story. It happened to an insignificant old lady in ISKCON who joined lately, who would say like that. But we got darshan of the Lord, and Krishna was inspiring in her heart, do this, do this, do this. And she got tremendous success. At the same time, we ourselves should work in our daily course, devotional activities also regularly, aspiring to receive the Kripa-siddha of the Lord one day or another. He will give. He will give. He's a person. He knows what you do. Apart, at a certain amount of service, you get full mercy. Kantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanande.